Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. So we're doing yet another foundation review. So one of you requested a review on the new Danessa Myricks. This is called the Blurring Balm Powder. So as you know, I have oily, acne-prone, 40 plus skin. So we're going to be testing this out on my skin type today. We're going to shoot for an 8-hour wear test and I'm going to take you along with me throughout the day. But first we're going to apply it, of course, and I'll give you guys my first impression of it. And then at the end of the video, I will let y'all know what I think about it and if it's something that I would recommend to y'all. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so here is what the packaging looks like. It looks very similar to like the container is something that you would see for like a typical powder foundation, and it has this little scoop thing in the front. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that. And then this is what the actual product looks like. It looks really shiny. But this is shade number 8. So if you're not familiar with this product, it does come in 10 skin tone shades. So I'll put up a picture of all of the shades on the screen, and it also comes in a translucent shade that you can use as a primer. So I usually don't do foundation primer, so I'm just going to be testing out one of the skin tone shades. So again, this is shade number 8, and let me do a quick swatch. It feels just like a typical balm, and I'm going to have to really build this up because I'm assuming this is supposed to be kind of like a sheer coverage, or at least that's what I'm getting so far. So you should be able to see that shade number 8. It looks really shiny, and I don't know, I feel like on oily skin I'm a little concerned by the swatch, but we'll see. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply it, and then we'll go over some of the claims about the product and see if they match up to how it applies on my skin. Today I'm gonna be using my Morphe E63 brush, and I'm just picking up just a little bit on the brush because I don't know what the pigmentation level is supposed to be yet, but I think I'm supposed to be getting a sheer coverage with this, but let's see. Okay. So I think that this particular shade is going to be quite warm on me, which that's not surprising. It only comes in 10 shades, but they're supposed to be kind of like universal, I'm guessing. But when I tried out the Yummy Skin foundation, I had the same thing happen in that. What is the shade that I have in the Yummy Skin? I actually have 2 shades, but the one that I tested out was shade 17W, and it was like really warm, but there just wasn't a shade that matched my undertone too well. This one is not as bad though because the coverage level isn't as pigmented as the liquid foundation. So my first impression is it's setting down to a really nice, like, soft powdery finish, which is what it's supposed to be. So that shininess that I was concerned about is pretty much gone. But I am going to go in and add just a little bit more. I like the way it blends out so far. Yeah, it applies very similarly to the liquid foundation. I mean, it just kind of just blends into the skin kind of effortlessly. And like, it's setting pretty fast, but you can still work with it, if that makes sense. I'm not going to put a whole lot of foundation on my forehead. I typically don't, just because I just feel like I don't need that much foundation up there. Okay, so this is one layer of the foundation on this side of the face versus no foundation over here. So I would say that I'm getting light to medium coverage so far. And it is definitely a powdery finish, but it's not like overly powdery or overly matte. It's a very nice, natural, like, powdery finish. To me, it kind of looks like maybe I put like a thin veil of a powder, like a finishing powder on my face. So it looks really nice so far. It is just a little too warm, but I feel like I can offset that when I do like my concealer, like in the center of my face. So let me know what you guys think so far. I'm gonna apply it to the other side of the face while we go over the claims of the foundation, and then we'll see if they match up to what I'm thinking so far. Okay, the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder is a texture-reducing, coverage-boosting blurring balm that balances oils throughout the day while maintaining hydration. It's supposed to be a light coverage with a natural finish. The highlighted ingredients are Upsolite, which supports and absorbs excess oil, olive-derived squalene, which is known to support oil production and diminish visible signs of aging, and hyaluronic acid, which promotes skin hydration. So this comes in 10 skin tone shades, and they're supposed to be quite adjustable because it is a light coverage, and it also comes in a universal translucent shade that can be used as a primer. I'm testing out the shade number 8 today, and this retails for $36. Okay, so I think most of the claims that they're saying about this product, we're going to have to kind of test that out during the wear test. So it's supposed to just really help with oil production during the day, and that would be great if it does that for oily skin. It also says that it's supposed to reduce texture. So I don't think that my face looks any less textured now that I have the makeup on, but it does make the skin look really nice and smooth and just really nice and natural. It does say a natural finish, and I do think that I'm getting that just a slight powdery finish, which is what it's supposed to do. Like I said, it doesn't look like overly matte or overly powdery or anything. To me, it looks pretty nice so far. Let's see if we can build up the coverage regardless of what the claim is, like what the coverage level is of a product. I always like to test buildability for foundations. I just always like to see if they build up on themselves. So I'm not expecting a lot more coverage, if any more, with a second layer of this, but let's just test it out and see what we get. So I'm just going to go on with another layer. I have about, I don't know if you can tell, but like that much on the brush, and I'm just going to test it out like right along the chin area where I have like more visible scarring, and then a little bit right up in here. No, I wouldn't consider this one buildable. Like once that second layer kind of blends into the skin, I feel like my scars are just as visible as they were before, but it blurs, so the scarring doesn't look quite as visible because of the blurring aspect, but not so much because of the coverage level. I hope that makes sense. So I don't consider this a buildable formula, but it doesn't claim to be, but it definitely can kind of like reduce the appearance of blemishes on the face. So I'm just putting a little bit more on this side of the face just to make sure that we're even. Let me know if it would be helpful to do a side-by-side comparison of this to the liquid foundation. They're quite different, but I don't know if that would be helpful for y'all, but I can already tell that I would prefer this over the liquid one, assuming that I get a good wear test from this. I just think it's a lighter coverage, and this one is just not quite as warm on my skin as the liquid foundation was, but so far so good. So this is what we're looking like, and I'm hoping that I can balance out this warmth with my concealer. So I'm going to put my concealer on now, then I'll show you what the foundation looks like after it's been sitting for a few minutes. Okay, concealer is on, and I set the under eye. So it's been about 5 minutes, and this is what we're looking like. So it definitely looks a lot better with the concealer because it's offsetting the warmth of the foundation. So I think I'm going to set just half of my face. I kept looking at my face trying to decide if I need to go on with setting powder because it is like a soft, like powdery finish, but I do have oily skin, so I'm not really sure like what to do about that. So let's just test it out both ways, and I'm just going to set half of my face. So I'm using the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. This is the one that I always use to set liquid foundations with because it does a good job at setting the foundation, but it doesn't really alter the coverage of the foundation. So I'm just going to apply it the normal way, picking up a good amount on my brush there, and I'm just going to set this half of the face. So of course the side with the powder on it is going to look just a little bit more mattified because of that powder, and I just put like a layer of powder on top of another powder because this is a powdery, like a bomb, what is it called? A powder bomb, a balm powder. So this side of the face does look just a little bit more matte, but I think I'm going to test it out both ways just to see what happens during the day. So I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup off camera. Let me know what your first impression is, but so far I like it, and I do think I like it better than the Yummy Skin liquid foundation. Let me know what your first impression is. I'm going to finish my makeup off camera, and then we will get started with our wear test. Okay, so as always, I'll have everything that I'm wearing in the description box. It's pretty much the same thing. I kind of stick with the same products when I'm testing out a foundation. I did switch up the bronzer a little bit today. This is the Huda Beauty one because I felt like I needed something that was a bit lighter, not too warm, just to kind of offset the warmth of the foundation. But everything is in the description box in case you are interested. So this is what we're looking like. So I really like the foundation so far. It's been sitting on my face for maybe about 30 to 45 minutes now. And remember, I have powder on this side of my face. I hope I remember that during the day, because when I refresh, I'm only going to repowder one side of the face. But I think for me having powder on this side of the face, it does look very similar to this side of the face. I'm noticing a slight difference. Let me know if you can tell, because maybe I'm noticing it because it's just more noticeable to me because I'm testing it out. But I do think that both sides of the face look pretty similar, even though I only have powder on one side. So let's get started with our wear test. Okay, it's a little before 10 o'clock in the morning, and I think my first check-in is probably going to be like around 1:30, 2 o'clock, but we're shooting for a full 8 hours. So I will see y'all in a couple hours and we'll take it from there. Okay, y'all, so it's about 11:30. It's been only like an hour and a half, but I'm about to put on a mask, and I wanted to show y'all what the makeup looks like before I put it on. So I'm about to get my nails done, praise God. So this is what the makeup is looking like so far. So it's still very much intact as expected because it hasn't been that long. The makeup did rub off a little bit on my upper lip because I was sweating, and I did pat that area. So I will fix that at the next check-in, which will be at about maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then we'll refresh the makeup and then continue on. So I will see y'all a little bit later. Okay, so it is a little after 2 o'clock, so it's now been about 4 hours since I put the makeup on. This is check-in number 2. So I was going to refresh the makeup. At this point, I was going to blot and repowder one side of my face, but I feel like I don't need to do that because I think the makeup looks like I literally like just put it on. So this is pretty much how the liquid foundation wore, at least so far. Like, I was very blown away at how well that one wore on me, and so far this one is wearing exceptionally well too. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this for now. So I'm going to wear it for at least another 4 hours. I may try to stretch it if I can, especially if the makeup continues to hold up pretty well, but this is what we're looking like halfway through. So I'll see y'all a little bit later on. Okay, so it is a little after 6:30 in the evening, so we did a 9-hour wear test for today. So this is what we are looking like after 9 hours, and remember, for this wear test I did not refresh the makeup. So typically I would refresh midway through. For today, when I did my halfway mark check-in, I thought that the makeup looked really good, so I didn't feel the need to refresh. So it's been 9 hours and I still feel like I don't have to refresh anything. Like, you can see a little bit of shine on my forehead, and in my typical areas I get shiny in the T-zone area. One thing I've noticed about this foundation, and I'm pretty sure the same thing happened with the liquid foundation, I usually get shiny on the nose pretty fast, like maybe after like a couple of hours, and I feel like with this foundation I'm just like barely shiny. So the Danessa Myricks foundations, both this one and the liquid ones, I think that they were like the best wear test that I've had so far this year, and you guys know how many foundations have come out. So again, I'm just really surprised and really pleased at how this wore on me. So let me know what y'all are thinking. But my final thoughts on this foundation, I think if you have oily, acne-prone skin, I would definitely recommend it. The shade number 8 is definitely one that I can wear, but it is a little on the warm side for me. But this only comes in 10 shades, so I highly doubt that there's another shade that's going to work better for me. But I do need something that's just a little less warm, but this is one that I can definitely wear. So again, for oily, acne-prone skin, I would highly recommend it. And if anyone out there has dry skin and you've already tried this, let us know how it worked out for you in the comments. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.